had it because I can see so much better.
At least you can see and you don't have to wear glasses.
That's right. I have to wear
get
these
mine
reading,
next
but
year,
they're
that's
not even prescription glasses. It's plain old reading. Do I have to stand up?
You want
Can I
to.
sit down?
You don't want to.
Heaven, you don't have to.
You're centrally located.
It's your birthday.
Yeah.
You can do what
Yeah,
you
all
want.
right. Good idea. All right. Well, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about my early life. Not too many of you know about that because you weren't around. It's been so many years ago. I was born at a very early age, which quite an accomplishment for a baby. And everybody said that I was born in the hospital because I wanted to be near my mother, who happened to be a patient there at that time. But actually, we didn't have a mother. We were a poor family and we just couldn't afford one. When I was 2 years old, I ran away from home. When I was 3 years old, I came back and my father took one look at me and he ran away from home. But he came back later on and we became pretty good friends. As a matter of fact, I remember one day when I was sitting in the living room in front of a roaring fire, my father came in, made him very angry because we didn't have a fireplace in the living room. And he said, Robbins, he always called me Robbins. He said, Robbins, how old are you? And I said, Father, I always call him Father. I said, Father, I'm 12 years old. To which he replied, Robbins, I'm ashamed of you. When I was your age, I was 15. But anyways, to go along further in life, a lot of you don't know this, but I really had my own private detective agency at one time. Jay said I had a lot of kind of jobs. Well, I was a private detective. Yeah, really was. Of course, with a name like Robbins, you had to call it the Redbird Detective Agency. A criminal in the hand is worth two on the street. It's high class office. And my famous case involved the murder of a New England lighthouse keeper. And I always called it the Cape Cod Keeper Caper. And it all began one morning when I was sitting in my office overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge, which was rather hard to do because my office is in New Jersey. All of a sudden, a tall blonde walked past my window. I knew she was tall because my office is on the second floor.
She was real tall.
She was real tall.
It's on stilts.
And she finally came into my office and said, Mr. Robbins, I'm an undercover police agent. We are on the track of someone who has killed a lighthouse keeper in Massachusetts. And we're trying to catch him, but we can't locate him because he's a master of disguise. He can turn himself into most anything. We can't find him. We need your help. And so in my best detective tone, I said, all right, sweetheart, give me a description. And she said, well, he's short, and he's real thin, and he's got a big head. And immediately I knew he was disguising himself as a parking meter. So within 24 hours, he was in custody, and he still had 12 minutes on his forehead. Heard enough.
You got more?
Yeah, I got one more. I've been in the ministry a while, and I don't do too much preaching now, except I will tell you something truthful. I got a birthday present from the district superintendent this afternoon. I'll be pastor of First Methodist Church, Mount Pleasant, for the next 5 Sundays. The pastor there has had a kidney transplant, and it's a church that I served back in the 70s, and I'll be there for the next 5 Sundays.
Where's Mount Pleasant?
Mount Pleasant is in Murray County, and it's south of Columbia. I was pastor there for 4 years back in the 70s. Yeah. Now I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? I've been doing some Bible study, and the other day I came across what I think is a mistranslation of a verse. In the 90th Psalm, the 10th verse, it reads, "The life of a man is 80 years and 10." Now a score is 20 years, so that'd be 70 years. And then it goes on to say, "Or by reason of strength, 80, which is 80." So I'm 80 now, so I'm 80. And I think the first part is all right, but I think the second has been mistranslated. I think it should read, the life of a man is 80 years and 10, or if by reason of pills, 80. And I have one question I'm still pursuing. I'm called an octogenarian now. If Little Sugar, my cat, lives to be 80 years, will she be an octopus? Just check it out. But I do have something serious to say, really. This is really serious. This is the best birthday party I believe I've ever had.
It is me too.
Well, thank you. I had a birthday in Germany. I've had a birthday in England. And I've had a birthday in Massachusetts and Kentucky and Tennessee. And I had the worst birthday in the world was my 21st birthday. And that was as a patient at the U.S. Navy Hospital, Mare Island, California. And they always put you in the base closest to home. And I was in California and my home's in Massachusetts. But I had an injury that had to be treated there at that particular hospital. Anyway, this is the nicest time I've ever had. And the 80 years are the nicest life that anybody could want. There's been ups and downs, but most of them have been ups. And it's always the unexpected that's been happening, and that's what I like about it. But I couldn't have done any of it if it hadn't been for my family, especially this one right here. My sweetheart. I'll tell you a story on her, though. When I went to college, I went in 1952, and it was a small college, so in 1953 I was on the freshman orientation committee. And as a freshman, you had to wear your freshman button, and you had to wear your freshman beanie. And I saw this cute little gal from Kentucky. I was leading the singing in a small group of new students, and my best friend was a freshman, and he dated her one day for an outing, and I said, "What's her name?" And he said, "I don't know, it's Beulah somebody." He said, "I don't know what her last name is." I said, "You spent all afternoon with her and you didn't even find out her last name?" And it made me mad, and I thought, how am I going to get to meet her? So one day, they had to go to, we had a dining hall, of course, and I noticed that you had your beanie on, but you didn't have your button, wasn't it? Something like that. And they're supposed to have both of them on. And if they're found not having them on, if they're a boy, they have to wear girls' makeup next day. And if they're a girl, they have to wear no makeup the next day. And so I finished my meal real quick, ran outside, sat in the park bench and watched for her and her friend to come out of the dining hall. And I walked over to her and I said, "Do you know that you don't have your freshman button on?" But she said, "What business is it of yours?"
I didn't know he was on that committee.
So I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, I won't turn your name in if you'll come over to the snack shack and have a cup of coffee with me." So that's where it
That's
got
sexual
started.
harassment.
It would be, wouldn't it?
Is that how you met?
That's true. Yeah.
That's a true story.
Yeah. And we dated in college, and then I graduated from college on Tuesday, the 31st of May, and we got married the following Saturday, the 4th of June. And she later finished her college at Scarrett College when it was still a 4-year.
But we were together at Union for 2 years.
Yeah, we were there.
He
We
was
knew each
there
other for
before
2
I
years.
was.
And she's the one that stuck with me for going on 56 years now. It was 55 last June the 4th.
And we had 3 beautiful children.
Well, I'm getting to them.
Oh, okay. I have to butt in, don't I?
And everything that I am, I owe to her because she's backed me up in all these moves, and all these churches, and all these colleges we've moved to, and I love her very much and always will. And I've got 3 great kids. I don't know what I'd do without them. I've really got 6 altogether because I've got 2 great daughters-in-law. And I don't know what my sons would do without. I don't think they could do without them. But anyway, I love all of you.
I think he's including John's son.
Well, now don't get it in me. speech, you or me?
He said so.
And then,
Okay, continue.
last but not least, I've got a grandson that I'm real proud of because he's just graduated from Western Kentucky College, Western Kentucky University, with a degree in meteorology, and has also got a good present today of being an employee at AMEC,
Oh.
which is a great company to work for, and the one that Susie works for. And
Joe.
I just couldn't. I said no gifts, and I say no gifts for Christmas either, because I've got all I ever need right here. This is the best birthday present I could possibly have.
That's true.
And thank you so much for coming.
Well, thank you so much for inviting us.
Oh,
We
glad to.
enjoy it to the fullest.
Glad to. And we're glad to have good friends like you and Dave.
Thank you.
And we love your daughter very much. I sort of claim her as mine. So I got this one here too.
Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa and mine. We get our names mixed up.
And if John ever gets married, we'll accept him.
Yeah, we get a good one.
So you gotta pick out a good one now.
I thought that's what your news was going to be. I'm getting married.